Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Crafting with Susie Q on Thursday night. We are going to be making two really pretty cards tonight for you. The date is January 25th, 2024, and this is a recorded video because I am at a Blue Star Mothers of America meeting tonight. I do come to you live every Thursday night, except the fourth Thursday, with a brand new video on making some cards. So my name is Sue Sanders, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Missouri, and I welcome all of you to my Facebook and to my YouTube channel. If you are watching this video, please log into your Gmail account so that you can leave comments. I do offer anybody that makes comments on my videos have a chance to win the two cards that I make each week. And these are the two cards that were made last week. I'll move this out of the way. These are the two cards that were made last week. My assistant Dorothy made this card, and it says, "I like you" all over the front of it. And then on the inside, it says, "So you get a card." So she does really pretty work with the watercoloring, the inks and things. And then I just did this card, and this is using the Meandering Meadow paper and the bicycle stamp set. And I believe that is in the annual catalog, I believe. So anyway, those two cards are going to go out to Cindy McGee. So congratulations, Cindy. You will get those two cards for commenting and watching my video from the 18th of January. All right, so tonight we're going to be working with one of the sets in the mini catalog, and it's called the Delicate Forest dies. And these dies are so pretty. They're very intricate little leaves, and they have a line that you can cut and have a border with. And they've got two of those. Then they have a couple of more different leaves, two of the labels that you can do stamping on and die cut the labels out with. But the piece that we're going to be using out of that is the real intricate little arch, and we're going to cut it out of black. So we'll set that aside for a minute, and you can find this bundle on page 17 of the mini catalog. Okay, we're not going to be using any of the stamps from this set tonight. One thing that I do want to mention, and it's kind of a public service announcement, if you will. I am going to be offering a free Zoom class on February 11th, which is Super Bowl Sunday, and I am calling it my Super Stamping Sunday. And we are going to make 5 fun fold cards. And this is one of them that we're going to be making. So it has 3 different panels on it. It looks a little limp and wet, and I'll tell you the story about that here in just a minute. So that's one of them. Then we're going to make a wiper card. Okay, so then when you pull it open, then there's a little element that pops up, and you can do whatever you want with that. So that's a second card that we're making. Can you imagine what in the world happened here? Well, I can tell you. This is another card that we're going to be making, and it is a twist card that pops up when you open it up. Isn't that cool? And I used the balloons on these just as examples, but you are going to be using your own supplies, your own paper, your own designer series paper, your own die cut stamps, embellishments. You're going to be using all of that belongs to you. We are just meeting, and I'm going to send out the dimensions of the paper that you will be needing to complete the cards. But you must register so that I know to get you the information on the Zoom room, okay? So please leave a comment in the video here, or you can send me an email at susieqstamping@gmail.com, and just put in the subject line, want to attend the Super Stamping Sunday. Okay. So, and I think I'm going to try to make this an annual event. So this is Super Stamping Sunday number 1. All right. And like I said, there is no cost to you whatsoever for this class. It's just something that I want to do. I don't watch football. I think it's a waste of money, all the money that they spend on their commercials, that they spend $10,000 on a commercial for 30 seconds. So excuse me just a moment and let me get on to my baby. You quit your barking. You can just wait. Simba's sitting here next to me thinking that it's time for him to talk to me, and I don't want to talk to him. So I'm going to start with a piece of black cardstock, and it is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. So it's the same size as the layering on a card. And I have gone ahead and ran this through my embossing machine. However, do I need to? Nope, I don't. I think it's going to come out. If I wanted to do it the right way, which I never do things the right way, you all know that. I think I'm going to try to get this back in place and run it through a second time, just so that I don't rip anything, because this is, I don't need those pieces, but it's not coming out. So let me run this back through my embosser, or my die cut machine here. There we go. Sometimes you can do that because you can move your paper around and feel where those grooves are that it cut with the first time. And so sometimes with these real intricate dies, you need to do that. I did not use the adhesive back adhesive. Well, that's a double worded thing. I did not use the adhesive back sheet on the back of this, but it's not that hard that I can't glue these little leaves down. All right, I think that makes a difference on how it, yep. Now it's going to come out nice for us. And I'm just going to take your pick tool. Can't live without this in my studio. And I'm just going to punch out. And some of these leaves don't punch out. They're meant to stay in. So don't think that they're all going to punch out, because some of them will stay in there. And that just kind of gives it some dimension and a different look. And we'll get all of those picked up here. So I hope everybody that at least lives in Missouri has stayed warm this week. We started out with real cold weather on Monday. Had ice. Schools were canceled. Businesses were closed. Gilbert got stuck when he was going to work. Well, he didn't get really stuck. He just slid down a hill and couldn't get back up the hill. So that's what happens when you work at a convenience store and you get called at 3 o'clock in the morning to go open. I guess is that one. That one comes out. We're going to pull it off of there. Sometimes you just have to real carefully even take a pair of scissors and snip it from behind so that you get that part that's not supposed to be stuck there. And some people leave more pieces attached. I have a thing about that. If they're not supposed to be attached, then they come out. But sometimes some of them they stay in because you can tell they're not cutting all the way through. All right, I cannot take credit for the design of this card. I give that credit to Dorothy, who is my darling assistant. I think that one stays in there too. Okay, I had, and I don't think I have it in here anymore. I think I've used it all. What makes a real quick cleanup for this kind of a mess, let me see if I've got one in my drawer. I don't think I do. No, is a lint roller. You just roll your lint roller over all those little bits and it will pick them right up. I keep forgetting to get another one when I'm at the store. All right. So this is what the finished card is going to look like. Oops, I got to bring it down. Okay. So we're using a Melon Mambo card base that measures the 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I am using a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 designer series paper. And sometimes the paper has little jagged edges on it. And you can use a nail file, but I have a buffer block. And so I just take and lightly scratch off around the paper on the edges to get all those little hanging chads off my paper. They are sometimes called sanding blocks too. You can purchase them online or wherever. Sometimes when nails are nail polish, the nail aisle at the store. Then I have a small strip of the designer series paper that I cut off of here. So this measures the 5 1/4, and it's probably about a 1/2 inch, and that's going to go on the inside of our card. Okay. Now I've left, oh, nope, I didn't. She did stamp something in there. However, for you guys, I'm going to leave it blank on the inside and not attach the white sheet so that you can put your greeting in. And I do that so that you may have a special person that you want to send this to, and you may have a specific greeting that you want to use. Okay, so I don't attach the white piece on the inside. I do attach the DSP, but that does give you an opportunity to stamp your own greeting. So what we're going to do first is we are going to line up and if it overhangs just a smidge, that's okay, because we can always trim that up. And see how pretty that looks? And then you put that on your bright colored card base. And I see some more of those little chads. Okay. So I hope that a lot of you who are watching tonight will, excuse me, sign up, contact me to attend my free Zoom class. I think we're going to have fun, and we can't have a class without a prize patrol. So there will probably be at least one, possibly 2 drawings. And you will probably get some discontinued products or something. So I'm excited, and I've had fun designing the 3 cards so far, but I have 2 more in mind that we're going to make. So I'm going to lay this down on my card base, just as if it was going to be the layer. Now, she did try using dimensionals and popping this up, but she didn't like that look as well as if it's just laying down flat like it's right there on it. So now we're going to take, and I think for this, what I'm going to do is use my silicone mat. And I love this because adhesives do not stick to it. So you can use glue or hot glue, the adhesive tape runner, and it doesn't stick to it. You can clean it right off. I'm going to take I have a sponge here that is sticky from using glue on it before, and I'm going to take just a little bit of my green glue, and this is in my my little bottle that's got the precision top on it. You can also use the silicone mat to wipe off your glue tip. And I am going to apply glue to the back of this because I don't need a whole lot. I just need a little bit. And I'm just going to dab it all over my die cut. And then that way it will have the adhesive on it, but I'm not having to play, is it going to ooze or not, and get excess glue. So this is a good way if you don't have the adhesive sheets that you can apply adhesive to the back of the delicate dies. And if you place an order between now and the end of January, please use my host code. That gives me the opportunity to get free product that I use then in my classes as giveaways. And that host code has been put up on the screen for you. All right, so now once I have my glue on the back of my die cut, I'm going to open up my card and I'm going to flip it over, or flip my die cut over, and I'm going to start at the bottom and I am going to try and line it up as evenly as possible so that none of my underneath paper shows, because sometimes cuts don't always get made identical. There we go. You will hear my babies bark because my husband just pulled in. All right, so that needs to be trimmed just a tad. This needs to be moved up just a tad. And you want to just work with this very carefully. You don't want to get into a rush with it, because when we rush, things happen, and then we have to fix those things. Okay. It's got something. There we go. Just scratch that out. All right, so there is the front of the card. Now I'm going to put on there some of the gold birds, and I have to find them. I didn't think I had put them away. But while I find those, I will go ahead and lay my piece of the Designer Series paper on the inside of the card. And I'm just going to put that on with some glue. And I like to turn my paper sideways because hopefully then I can get it on more even, because I'm seeing the side that I have to line up. And you could use any kind of Designer Series paper that you wanted to do this technique of the shadow behind the... I don't even think I got too much overhang. Very good. Okay. All right, so we're just going to stick that inside there for you so that when you get this card, if you're the winner, then you can put your own greeting on it. And here's my brushed brass birds and dragonflies. So there's two different birds. One is facing to the left and one is facing to the right. So we're going to take our putty end of our Take Your Pick tool. I stabbed my finger the other day using that. And I'm just going to place them, and I'm placing them on the black because I think they show up better on the black and they don't get so lost. So we've got one bird flying to the right. We're going to put one more bird flying to the left. And we'll put another bird down here that's flying to the right. Okay, I did not put a greeting on the front of this card simply because I didn't want to take away from the paper and how the whole look came together. Okay, so that is card number 1. The second one is a little bit more detailed, not too much more. I try to keep these fairly simple. I'm going to put my stuff away here so that I don't lose something. Take my little white. My dogs are going to bark really bad now, ladies, so if you hear them, they're just barking because Grandpa came home, and they pretty much are Grandpa's. All right, so here, I don't want to lose my dies. Had a bad experience losing dies here lately. So, all right, so that is that card. What do you think of that card? Leave me a comment. All right, now the second card that we're doing is using the Lifetime of Love stamp set and dies, and we're going to use this flower right here. And the paper that we're using for this is, do I have, that I don't, I'll get the name of this paper. It is in the mini catalog. The name of this is, if you don't have a catalog, please contact me and I will send you out one for the cost of the postage. This is called the Forever Love paper, and it is so pretty. There again, I had lots of people saying, well, what do you do with so much gold? And it's got gold and Pretty Peacock and Moody Mauve. So that's one side, and then it has these delicate little flowers. I love those. And then it has, this is a piece that I've already cut off some, and it's got leaves, and then it's got stripes with the Moody Mauve, so you could use those either direction. Now this piece is one that I want to show you how it works. That's another piece. There's the bigger piece of the stripe. Here's the Moody Mauve with some of the gold roses on it. It's the other piece. It's got some diamond shapes, and it's got little roses inside of there. And the back of that is just a, I call it like a honeycomb, or it could be like a chain link fence. This, I believe, comes with, oh, no, it doesn't. No, that one doesn't. We have a embossing folder that comes with that is very pretty. And there's another back of a sheet. And then here's just lines on a sheet. So this paper is really, really pretty. And I always tell my ladies that you don't have to use a whole big sheet. This comes in a suite, and you know how you just have a book and then you get rid of it, you can't find it again. This is on page 15 of the mini catalog. So it's this this entire suite, and you have the paper, you have the Lifetime of Love stamps and die set. And we're going to use the die set to cut out one of those flowers from the paper. It also comes with these gold, yes, I put them away. See, I was being too efficient. They come with cards that are all gold and they're already scored. So you would just fold them in half and you could use those just like that. Would be very pretty with a greeting on it. So it can be either portrait or landscape. And then it has a pretty envelope that they come with. So if you win these 2 cards, you will get an extra bonus and you will get one of the pretty envelopes that goes with the cards. Now, what I did, because I thought, well, I don't want to lose the whole back piece. So you get, I believe there's 10 in here. Yes, there's 10 cards and 10 envelopes. So I plan on taking this and cutting it in half and using these as mats and not as a full card. So yes, I only get 10 envelopes, but that's okay. I can pretty up the other ones. So that's exactly what I did for our card tonight. And I'm also using the pretty peacock and gold metallic ribbon and some of the Forever Love, nope, that's the petal pink and the pretty peacock foil gems that are in this suite. So that is a very, very pretty suite, very versatile. And I am going to show you what I did to get my flower. Whoops. See how pretty these dies are? I just love these. I'm going to take this out of the bag. I was so glad that when I had my, whoops, earlier, oh, I forgot I didn't tell you. I was working, trying to clean off and be efficient, clean off my desk. Well, I know better than to have a drink of water sitting on my desk, but I had one. And I was moving around my light and my camera stand, and my camera stand fell over and it hit that glass of water and it went all over my desk. Henceforth, some of my cards, like the one that I showed you for an example, it got all wet. And so that's why it is all smudgy here on the front, because it got wet. Ink and water don't mix unless you want them to. So I can use this as an example, but just disregard this. I will probably have to do something here if I choose to use this to send to somebody. But all 3 of these got a little bit wet, along with some other things. All right, so there is a die in this set that matches up with, I don't know, can you see this on the screen okay? It matches up with this rose in this green paper. All right. Now, I haven't gone any farther to see what other, I think, yep, it does. This leaf die, it matches up with this piece of paper to give you, and I believe, yep, this little flower here matches up. And let's see if this one does. Yes. So there's 4 dies from this set that will coordinate with this piece of paper, and you can get different die cuts from it. And I did that with my tool set. I also did it with I just did it with another set. I can't remember which one it was. But all I did was die cut all the pieces out of my one piece that I could. And then I used the scraps for like the inside of my cards and such. So anyway, this is a really good idea when you get dies. And a lot of times you'll be able to tell that they match up with at least one of the pieces of paper that you have. All right, so I've already, let's see if I've already done that. I don't think, or maybe I did. So here is my Pretty Peacock card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Here is, I cut down one of the pieces of the gold and very vanilla cardstock, and I did that at 4 by 5 1/4. And then I used the Stylish shape dies, and I did 3 circles. I cut a circle out of the Designer Series paper that had the gold flowers on it. And then I cut another one using the leaves on the back of it. I did one in just the Pretty Peacock, and then a smaller one that I'm going to mount on that Pretty Peacock. And then I cut one of the flowers out. Now, because this is kind of a small die, and it's a circle die, the Lasting Love stamp set does not have, where is my Lasting? Do I have the stamp set up? Oh, I didn't think I did. Silly me. Yes, I do. This has a lot of big fonts or greetings other than just the one that says love you on it. So I'm using out of the, let me think here, I believe it's out of the Color and Contour. No. See, I become efficient and I put things away and then I don't remember because I forget. I'm looking for my happy birthday. Oh, Jiminy Crickets. Because it has to be a happy birthday. It's not go-to greetings. I know that because it was too big. Let's stamp set. Maybe y'all can help me out. Can y'all figure out which stamp set this happy birthday is from? Oh, I remember. It's the Pansy Patch. Yep. Pansy Patch. It's been in for quite a while, but I really love the happy birthday greeting. I love all the greetings on this. So we're going to use the happy birthday, and we're going to stamp that in. Boy, my mind has just gone blank. Pretty Peacock. There it is. We're going to stamp that in the center of that circle. And these circles do have a right and wrong side. The right side, you can see the little holes through the little holes. The wrong side, they're kind of rough feeling. So make sure that when you do these circles, you get the right side that you want. So here's my happy birthday, because we always need birthday greetings. There it is. You know, when something happens to me traumatic right before I'm going to record, it just messes me up. And spilling that glass of water wasn't just a half a glass. Oh, no, it was a full glass. Just really has me skittish on what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to go ahead and attach our little circle to the center of our Pretty Peacock. And again, you want to make sure that you've got the right side of your circle showing. So here we are going to attach that. And I had thought about adding some gems to this, but I thought with all the gold on it already, we really didn't need to put any more on there. All right, the next thing that I did was I took the Pretty Peacock and gold ribbon that comes with that suite, or you can buy it separate. And I just kind of laid it across there and figured how much I needed to wrap around to the back. And I cut it off. This is about, 6¼ inches. 6 inches would probably do it. And then I'm going to take some of my mini snot dots. I'm sorry, glue dots. They'll always be snot dots to me. And put one on each end of my ribbon. Make sure you put them both on the same side and not one on each side backwards. And I'm just going to wrap this around, to the back of my card and make it even. Yeah, you could get by with 6 inches because I have quite a bit of leftover, but that's all right. I'm okay with that. All right. I think maybe I need to move these though, because there is kind of a direction to those flowers, and I had them going upside down. You can kind of tell, see how the flowers are going up, and I had them backwards. Okay, so we have that on there. Now we're going to go ahead and put that on the front of our card. And I did burnish this really well so that it would stay closed. We're just going to use our glue. And I like to put a little bit of strip of the glue on my ribbon so that it holds it to the back. Now we're just going to center that up on our card. Okay, just like that. I am going to take an extra glue dot, and with my Take Your Pick tool, I'm going to put one underneath the front for that ribbon so that it stays flat. And I just do that after I lay my ribbon down, and then it's there, and it's going to get covered up anyway. And then I just decided where was I going to put my circles at. Okay, and bring this down because you want them to kind of overlap. You want that one to kind of overlap. And then you're going to decide where you want to have your flowers at. So I think that looks pretty good right there. We're going to go ahead and lay down and attach our circles. This is a really fun sketch card that you can put together just using different designer series paper. You could even just do it with different colored cardstock and put different stamps on it. So there is our second circle. And I didn't dimensionalize any of the circles, but I am going to put dimensions on our roses. And there is our birthday greeting. I'm going to take some of my dimensionals now and put them on our roses. And because I want to have, I want to make sure that it doesn't sag, I'm going to use some of my skeletons, and I'm going to cut short little strips that I can put on these leaves that are sticking up, just to make sure that they stay down. I guess I don't need one that long since I've got a partial one there. But don't throw away your skeletons, ladies, for your dimensionals. They can be used. I like to use every bit of it. And I think I need just a little bitty one right there at the bottom. I know I probably do dimensional overload, but I don't want them to sag. And then again, I just take my Take Your Pick tool and I can pick up off that backing paper and put it into my handy dandy little catch-all here for these, instead of throwing them off to the side of my desk and then they end up on the floor, which then they end up on the dogs, or they end up on me and I go outside with dimensionals to the store. I think that one's overhanging just a tad. I need to move it or cut it. We're just going to cut it off. Oops, sticky, sticky. Oh, it's stuck to me. Get off of me. Yeah, I probably could have done the Bounty commercial when my water spilled. There we go. All right, and now we're going to just place that right over here so that it kind of goes on an angle. And there we have the front of our card. What do you think of that card? Isn't that pretty? I love Pretty Peacock. I just absolutely love it. Okay, then for the inside of this, I am going to go ahead and stamp this for you guys because I think this saying is so nice. And it says, wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you. And I think that sometimes there's especially with birthday greetings, they're universal. They can be used for anybody. I don't know if you all know this, but if you find that you have some little curl up with your cardstock, you can take and flatten it out with your, I'm looking for, there it is again. I lose things and I only have a very small space. I don't understand how I lose things so easily. And I do like the font on this pansy patch. I'm just lining up my stamp onto my block. And I'm stamping it in the Pretty Peacock. Stamp it up there like so. And then I took the flower, the same flower that's on the front that I die cut, and I'm going to put it here at the bottom, inked up, just kind of on sideways here. And that makes for such a nice, pretty, easy card. And it still gives you some room to write a little greeting on there if you want. So let me clean off my stamps, because if I don't, y'all know what happens. I stick my hand in them, and then I transfer that ink to everything else. Then we're going to just put our greeting on the inside, and we're done with this card. So I hope that you all have enjoyed watching this video tonight. Leave me comments. The more you comment, the more you're entered in the drawing. And it's always fun to get happy mail. So there is the card number 2. What do you all think about that? I like it. I think it's very pretty. It's very elegant. This paper would make a very pretty wedding card. I don't know anybody that's getting married. All of my friends, their kids are all married already and having grandbabies and stuff like that. So I don't get to use wedding stamps very often. But happy birthday stamps and thinking of you. All right. So there are our 2 cards for tonight, ladies. So we have number 1 and number 2. You all leave me a comment on which one you like the best. A couple of reminders. Tomorrow, Friday, January 26th, 10 a.m., right back here on Facebook and YouTube, we will have a coffee chat and a card, and I will have another card sketch for you that you can add to your album of card sketches. Also, don't forget the Super Stamping Sunday, number 1, will be happening on February 11th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon until you want to leave the Zoom room, because I'm willing to stay as long as anybody else is in there. And here are the 3 examples so far of the cards that I'm going to show you how to make. There will be 5 total. Oops, that's not the card. We just made that card tonight. There it is. Okay, and so that class is going to be all about fun folds and interactive cards. So here is one of them that you're going to learn how to make, which is very simple and very, very pretty. You can use any paper that you want. You will get to choose. Here is the wiper card. I think these are so fun, and I think kids and adults love to just play with these wiper cards. This is the twist and pop card that, of course, has the running ink because it's running away. And you just open it up, and it twists and pops open like so. All right, so those are just 3 that you're going to learn how to do, and I will have more examples the day of the class on what they look like making with different papers. But you will get to choose whatever paper and cardstock you choose from your own stash. It's a great time to use up some discontinued product. That way then you could practice, get them perfect, and then make them with the current paper. All right, so tomorrow, coffee and chat and a card at 10 a.m. Next Thursday night, which is February 1st, 7 o'clock p.m., I will be back here live with another video for you. Enjoy your weekend. Please take some time to do something for yourself, like stamp a card and send it. Everybody likes to get a card. All right, everybody, be safe. Take care. Bye.